welcome back to another video from Bioholic. Hope you all are doing well. So in this particular video, I am going to talk about the phylum Annelida. And before jumping into this video, I want to remind you, after watching the full video, make sure you check the description box below. There I have provided the link for self-assessment test on today's lecture. Now, let's begin. Now, the term annelid means little rings, and they are distinguished by their segmentation and body cavity, and they are range in length from 1 mm to 3 meter, and they are also known as ringworms or segmental worms because of the presence of distinct segments in their bodies. Next, we will talk about their habits and habitats. So the annelids may be aquatic or the terrestrial. Like the Nereis is a marine, earthworm is terrestrial, and Hirutinaria is a freshwater annelid. So most of the annelids are free living, and some are parasitic in nature, like the Hirutinaria. They are the blood-sucking leech, which is common ectoparasite. They are feeding on blood of fishes, frogs, and other animals. Okay. Now the basic features of annelids. So they are bilaterally symmetrical with identical left and right halves. Okay, and they are triploblastic animal as their body tissues are derived from all three germ layers like the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. And they have also the organ system level of organization. Okay. Moving on to the other features of annelids, like the segmentation. So the body of annelids is elongated and metamerically segmented, and the external segmentations of the body correspond to their internal segmentations, and they are the first animals to possess true body segmentation. Even the body surface can be seen distinctly marked out into the segments. So their body segments are called as metameres, and the segmentation is called as metameric segmentation. Okay. Now the locomotion. So the body wall is muscular and hence possesses muscles which are able to bring motion in their body. So on the basis of the arrangement of muscle fibers, two types of muscles are present in their body wall, like the circular muscles and the longitudinal muscles. So, some aquatic annelids like the Nereis also possess locomotory appendages. These appendages bear some fleshy, flattened, laterally projected structures in their body, which is known as the parapodia, which along with the body muscles help the aquatic annelids to swim in water. But the parapodia are absent in Hirutinaria. Okay. Now the digestive system of annelids. So this is the image of the digestive system of Annelida, and the digestive system is complete in the annelids, as it contains distinct mouth and anus at the opposite ends of their body. And the digestion of the food is entirely extracellular, taking place outside the cells in the cavity or the lumen. And now the food enters to the mouth using the muscles present in the pharynx, and once through the pharynx, it goes through the esophagus and into a storage chamber called crop. Then the food moves to the gizzard, where it is crushed and broken down. So you can say that the gizzard is a kind of machine which helps to break down of the food particles of annelids. Okay, and then this broken down food moves down to the long intestine, where the large surface area allows for diffusion of materials across the intestinal wall, and whatever is not digested passes out to the anus. Okay.
Now the circulatory system. So the circulatory system of annelids varies from each specific organism. So most of them have a closed circulatory system, like the earthworm, in which blood is closed within vessels throughout the body, where the two main vessels are used to circulate their nutrients, gases, etc. And they are known as the dorsal blood vessels and the ventral blood vessels, circulating to the front sections of the body and to the back section of the body, and supplies the body wall and the intestine with the blood supply respectively. And while others have open circulatory system, just like the leeches, in which their blood is not contained within the vessels. And in an open circulatory system, the blood fluid in the coelomic cavity is within contact with entirely of the inner organism, in which nutrients, particles and gases are exchanged. Okay? Now these are two images of the circulatory system. So first one in the left hand side is the open circulatory system, and in the right hand side there is a closed circulatory system. Okay? Now the excretory system. So the excretory system in annelids consists of two parts. One is the excretory pore, which is the opening to the outside of the body, and the second one is very important, that is the nephridia, which are the coiled tubes present in the body which help them in removing out their metabolic nitrogenous waste product by filtering and collecting from the blood and fluid in the coelom. Okay, and besides this, nephridia also help in osmoregulation by maintaining the body fluid and salt concentration. Okay. Now the nervous system in annelids. So the body control is provided by their nervous system consists of paired ganglia, which are connected to the double ventral nerve cord by the lateral nerves. And these paired ganglia act like the brain of annelida. And these are connected to the ventrally present nerve cord running along with the longitudinal axis of the body. And this nerve cord appears to be single, but in reality it is double, consisting of two compactly united right and left nerve cords. Okay. Next is the reproductive system. So, earthworms and leeches are monoecious, as their female and male sexes are not separate in them, and each individual of them produces sperms as well as ova in their body. But Nereis is dioecious. It means in Nereis, male and female sexes are separate and sperms and ova are produced by the different individuals. Okay? Now here are three important things related to annelida. One is the leech is a blood-sucking animal. It continuously sucks the blood due to the presence of an anticoagulant hirudin in its saliva, and this hirudin is produced by its salivary glands, which prevents the clotting or coagulation of the blood while the leech is taking its meals, thus ensuring a continuous supply of blood from the host. Next is, in Nereis, parapodia serves the dual purpose of the locomotion as well as the respiration. The last one is, 4 pairs of tubular hearts are present in the earthworm which pump the blood in earthworm to maintain its flow in the blood vessels. Finally, here is a very interesting fact about the annelida. So, the earthworm is called as nature's plowman, as it performs an important ecological function by their mode of feeding. They cultivate and irrigate the soil. The earthworm activity is a basic necessity for the fertile land. So the circulation shows that their activity during a 10-year period is equivalent tilling the soil surface of entire earth to a depth of 5 centimeter. Okay? Okay, so if you have any questions or doubts related to today's lecture, then ask me in the comment section below. And if you want to do your self-assessment test, then do visit to the description box below. There is a link for the self-assessment test on today's lecture. And if you like this video, then give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. And if you are new here, then hi, myself Ankita Vishwas, your bioeducator. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for further notifications of our upcoming video. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and till then, take care and keep watching Bioholic.